Donovan Green and Connor S. presenting their product, World Food. Donovan and Connor are both members of the school basketball team. Donovan's inspiration was his love of food with his inability to decide what to eat. And to Connor, he could be any animal in the world, he would be a shark.
The remote? You have the remote?
Hello, Sharks. How many times have you been at home and you want and you don't know what you want? Your wife wants burgers, you want Chinese, your kid wants English. We have World Food offered in one central location.
At World Food, we are looking to offer a dining experience. We're not looking to, offer a quick bite to eat at McDonald's or, just, quick stop to get greasy at Five Guys. Looking for a dining experience at a high travel area, like Orlando, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, or New York City, places like that. Our initial startup location, we would start that in Hershey, because the Hershey Park, it's a lot of a high vacation destination. It would be a high vacation destination, and we'd be compared to the experience with the Buffalo Wild Wings or Panera, just places that are really iconic. We'd be offering a steak of 40% in the initial restaurant, and we'd be looking then to go into a franchise, and then you'd have a 20%. You'd have a 20% hold on that. We'd be looking for a $150,000 steak. The expenses we'd have to take care of between $600,000 and $800,000. Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Any questions, Sharks?
I have a ton of questions. I'm not clear on what your product is. What are you guys selling?
We are selling multiple kinds of food. We'll have from different locations. We'd have Mexican from tacos, salads, burritos. Then we'd also have traditional American food, like hamburgers, hot dogs. And then we'd also have Italian stuff. We'd have Italian dishes, so we'd be looking for, their families are split up on where they want to go, and they go to the restaurant, and then each one, let's say.
You're gonna have Chinese?
Yeah, of course. All different ethnicities.
Okay. So is this like a buffet, or are we looking at a menu that's going to be basically War and Peace?
We're going to be looking at a menu.
A menu. So
Yes.
very big menu.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever eaten at a restaurant where the menu's 10 pages long, and they have 1,000 things, and my personal experience is that when I've gone to restaurants like that, nothing's very good. There's a lot of stuff in the menu, and it overwhelms me. But the poor chef's back there. He's not an Asian cook. He's not an Italian cook. And he's not a French cook. And he's not an American cook. He's trying to be a little bit of everything and gets nothing. But when you go someplace where they serve just Annie and soft pretzels or just Buffalo Wild Wings, they specialize in an excellent product, right? One of my fears with your model is that, from salads to sushi, holy cow, when I want great sushi, I go to the sushi place. When I want really good Chinese, I go to the Chinese guy, up near my office. And how many chefs are you gonna need to run your restaurant?
We probably have 5 to 7 chefs, because we have them. Maybe we have one, we have a couple of them, majoring in different kinds of food that are similar, like chefs that are more, European, located, and then have a chef that is, more traditional, with making sushi rolls, Indian types of food, things like that.
Yeah, have you ever eaten at a Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
Something like that. Sounds an awful lot like that type of a situation where you've got a Bible of a menu. It's that big. But, I mean, they do a phenomenal job. It is a very, very, very high overhead operation. And probably, you know, and certainly not low cost to people. But, you know, I think it sounds like you're, no pun intended, you're biting off a lot more than you can probably chew here, trying to do that elaborate. Maybe an idea for you guys would be to sit there and have, you know, keep your international choices, but potentially have a rotating menu where you maybe have one item or two items from these different things, and that's all you serve on a very, very refined menu. So you kind of are able to keep it simple. Just an idea for you.
What scares me more than anything, again, is looking at that Hershey market. Now, I'm in Hershey a lot. I do a lot of PIAA events, all the championships, and I'm in the Hershey market, so I know what it's like up there. And I know tourism is huge, but when you look at it, there are a couple of restaurants along that road there, and then most of those dollars go right into Hershey. And they're not really coming out too far beyond that. And it's tough to get that money away from Hershey. I mean, Hershey does a very good job at what they do. So, are you locked into it's got to be Hershey to start? I'm not trying to sway you away.
No,
That's what
we're
I'm
not.
saying.
We're looking more towards a tourist destination, and doing Lancaster. That's definitely one of the closer ones. That we definitely be in reach of.
I mean, so out on 30. I mean,
That's
you got
Wonderland area, yeah.
We're one of the biggest tourist destinations on the East Coast.
We'd also be looking, by the Nook too. Now they're opening a lot of stuff there, Cracker Barrel, McDonald's, the hotel. I think that'd also be a good vacation.
Okay.
So do you have any idea on what kind of numbers, like what are your hours going to be? Are you going to serve breakfast as well, or just be evenings, or what are you thinking?
We would not be doing breakfast. Because, like you said, the chefs, it'd be a lot of work. Also throw in a breakfast menu in there too. So you'd be looking at, time from 11 o'clock, to 12 o'clock. Because we'd have people coming in, let's say, like out of if we're using Hershey as an example, coming out of Hershey Park maybe, with their friends or with their family, looking for a cool place to eat before, they're going to a concert or whatever. Or let's say, a team wants to find a cool place to eat, the night before they have a big game at the Giants Stadium. That's what we be looking at.
So do you have any ideas? I mean, another thing is, if I'm serving sushi at my restaurant, and I got like 10 different kinds of sushi, I buy all the fish and the rice, and I have 10 ingredients, and they're fresh because I'm going through bulk. I buy it and I'm serving it. Now I order this, and I get some Italian foods, and all of a sudden, I need the refrigerator to stockpile all this food, and just based on the customers that come in, they're all eating Italian and Chinese, and they're not eating burgers, and so my burgers get old, they get thrown out to trash, and again, I'm worried about, that there's a value in specialization versus,
There's obviously some kinks.
I mean, you're gonna really need some high volume.
Yeah.
So you're saying you already have $600,000 that you're using as startup capital?
Yes.
All right. Where did you get that money from?
From other local investors.
All right. So you have that money in place, and now you're looking for an additional $150,000. What are you going to use that $150,000 for?
Well, we have we'll be looking to. We haven't done anything with the money yet. We're obviously just trying to find the right location to start up at. So that's where we go. So it'll just be an additional part, and getting the location, leasing 4,000 square foot building, and purchasing the equipment to make a restaurant run.
I think you guys got to figure out. You guys got to streamline this. You got to streamline your offering a little bit. It's too hard to invest in something that's that big.
On the real Shark Tank, you're allowed to go out. Are we allowed to do that?
You may.
All right, because I'm going to say, I don't feel like the concept is fully formed yet. I like the idea, and I go through it with my family all the time. What do you guys want to eat? And I've got the one dissenter, my youngest son Patrick, who hates Panera, and it drives us crazy because we can't go to Panera because Pat won't go there. It happens every time we go out. And I think every family has that. You want to go somewhere on that night. So I think the concept is there, but I don't think you've fully formed it. And until you have it fully formed, I'm glad you have some upfront money, but until you fully form it, I'm not going to invest in it. So I'm out.
Yeah, you guys gotta figure out, are you high end, are you low end, are we walking into this place, is it casual dining, is it expensive, how big is the restaurant? What's the, what's,
Maybe casual dining, maybe casual dining.
yes, but you guys got a streamline.
But when we're at the counter, is there waitresses, how does that work?
It'd be more of a sit down, like a Chili's atmosphere, where you don't need to dress up, but you're not gonna,
So then ballpark, how many employees, you said 6 chefs, correct?
yeah. It'd be around staff, around 20 to 25.
At one time?
Yeah.
So how many patrons do you think you'll have at any given time?
How many, clients you need?
What's your seating capacity?
What's your seating capacity and how much do you expect to fill that?
Well, it depends, it's obviously going to depend on the building you buy, the seating is not available.
How much you plan on paying your employees?
Around, a little higher than minimum wage. Around,
You gonna pay your chefs minimum wage?
not our chefs, obviously, well, the waiters, of course, they get mostly paid off their tips and stuff. Those facilities, obviously.
Gotcha.
And then the chefs will get paid, depending on, their diversity and ability.
So, you think you'll pay your chef about $25 an hour then, your chefs?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to run some math on what's gonna cost you to operate per hour. And then how many customers you're gonna need each hour to float your model.
If you're talking about a Chili's size of a restaurant or something along those lines, I mean, if it goes bad, it's gonna go real bad. And everybody who puts $1 into it's gonna get hurt, everybody who puts time in. If it goes good, you wind up with, a franchise or a chain of the situation. The guys in the Shake Shack, they're getting ready to go public. The Shake Shack, $1 billion is what their valuation is after so many years, and that's just gonna go public here later this month. That part's exciting, but if you don't have a model, most of the restaurants here lately, like Tom and Chi and things along those lines, they have a very neat, clean business model. It's very easy to understand up front. You can calculate the costs instead of the bigger restaurants, the Cheesecake Factories, the Chili's, et cetera. It's just a little harder to quantify what you got. There's a lot more moving parts to them, and they're much more capital intensive. You go by the Olive Garden, which was a great concept, and they've come out with affordable Italian food. I think the one we have out here in Park City is one of the #1 Olive Gardens in the country. It prints money. Every night there's a line.
So yeah, Macaroni Grill had to shut down right across
Yeah.
the street, right?
How's that,
So there's
how's that
examples.
possible?
Right, right.
One idea ended up working perfect, the next one did. Somebody lost $500,000, and the next guys are making incredible revenue over their plate. I'm out, too risky, and it's not well thought of. I wish you the best.
I'm out on account of risk as well. I think if you guys specialized and had an idea, it'd be worth investing in and then expand from there. So, sorry.
I don't know.
All right, thank you.